Today we're going to be working on this Frigidaire dishwasher. The model number is on the display. Welcome to DIY Repair Now. Read all the warnings, and during this video you will see one or more of these icons to help you do this repair safe. So the complaint that we have with this dishwasher is that this two lights comes on in the middle of the cycle. So let's say it starts washing, and then when it goes to the rinse cycle or the dry cycle, it just stops and those two lights comes on and they stay steady on. Now, reading the paperwork says that it could be like in child lock mode or something like that. So I know it's not in child lock, but I'm just pressing the key. Maybe, it has an error, or the button got stuck and then, it's creating an error on the board. But nothing happened. Disconnect the appliances before you start disconnecting boards and wirings, just to be on the safe side. And now we're gonna go ahead and use the T-Torque. I think is T16 or T15. I really don't remember, guys. If you guys have the T-Torque drill bits, you probably have a whole set of bits. So you might have this one, and just remove the screws all the way around to remove this bottom panel and have an easy access to the board. There is the paperwork, as you can see, but I already went through the first time I was doing the diagnostic, and that paperwork didn't help me. One thing that I gotta let you know, guys, that sometimes the paperwork is useless if the board has an issue. So we're gonna find out what is going on. In fact, we already did everything that we had to do with this dishwasher. So what I'm saying is, if you have this situation where the dishwasher stops in the middle of the cycle and those two lights comes on, you probably or definitely have a problem with the main computer board, which is the one I'm taking apart right now. Now you're going to remove those Phillips screws. They are around this cover for the board to be able to have access to the actual board. Now once you remove the cover, you can see the actual board right there and all the wiring in all the components. Now this is the new board. We're gonna go ahead and replace the board, but there's a couple of things that I want to let you know, guys, and how to do it, because I run into some situations. I always take pictures of what I'm doing, that way I just go back in the picture and see where everything was connected. But in this case, that didn't work for me. They replaced this board with a different one. I mean, it's the right board, but they make some changes and you need to pay attention to those. Now I'm removing this small Phillips screws from the actual board to remove it from the housing. And it has like 4 screws that holds the board in place, and also this connector that goes to the touch panel, the one you see me remove right now. Now again, the board, it doesn't exactly look the same, but this is the right board. It's just that they probably redid it and made some changes for better, I guess. But if you put the board, one board right next to the other one, they will not look identical. But again, just keep in mind that, I double check and triple check. As you see, it's nothing like this board, but definitely is the right board. I double check and triple check before I actually installed this board, because I thought that I have the wrong part. And like I said, I take pictures before I remove the board and after I installed the board. But in this case, those pictures didn't help me. because of one connection. Now I'm installing the Phillips screws that holds the board in place. And this is another thing, guys. I was using the drill, but I'm gonna use the screwdriver just because I want you guys to use screwdriver because you're dealing with a board and I don't want you to put too much torque with the drill. This is something that I didn't know how to explain to you guys. A lot of people tell me, oh, well, you're using the drill. I had a comment from one of my followers, and he said he told me in a text, in a message, the best part of your video is where you use the drill in those sensitive spots because you calculate how much torque you can put on the item just by feel. So that is the reason why you see me using the drill even in this sensitive part. It's still a chance, but like I said, I've been doing this for more than 20 years. So I know how much torque that I can put on this sensitive pieces where it's like a board or wiring involved. But I want you guys to just use a screwdriver because if you messed it up by hand, imagine what you can do with a drill. So just to be on the safe side, just do it by hand. Either way, these screws around this board are stainless steel, so the magnet doesn't grab and it keeps falling off the drill anyways. And you can see that it's keep coming off my screwdriver too, even if it has a magnet or not. Now we're gonna connect this harness for the touchpad where it should be. And next we're gonna begin to install the rest of the wiring that's coming from the dishwasher. Now you will see there is like a 14-pin connector or something like that. And this is what I want you to pay attention, guys, because I'm gonna mention this and more than one time in this video, because as you see, I went to take a look at the picture and I did exactly how the other one was, but in the new board they switched these two connectors, these two terminals. They switched it, so you will see the problem that I ran into. This one goes on the bottom and the other one goes on the top. I'm gonna go ahead and address this more than one time because I don't want you guys to go through the same situation that I went through, because at the end of this repair I was frustrated because I put everything back together and the dishwasher was not working. It was just turning all the lights and it wasn't doing anything. It was doing a little more than before, well, on the board side, because this time it was not even washing or doing anything, but it was flashing all the lights. So let's put that cover. One of the screws falls, so I'm just using a 1/4 screws for this area because I couldn't find the other Phillips screws. But you know what, yes, use anything that you have around there as long as it's the same size. Now let's put this panel. When I correct the problem that I have, I didn't remove the bottom panel, just remove this top panel, but I suggest you to remove the bottom panel because it's less chance that you can damage or create another issue if you don't remove the bottom panel. And you will see what I'm talking about later on this video, so just stay tuned. That way you do this repair the right way. Now in some footage, I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward it because I don't want the video to be too long and boring. So like I said, just bear with me because at the same time I want to have most of the footage on the video because I want you guys to see if I run into any inconvenience, and that will help you. Now this panel, as you see right there, if you need to go back, just go back on the video, but this panel is going in some hooks. So it have two hooks on the bottom, as you see right there. You can barely see because the camera, my camera, I got it on my forehead and it moves. But another thing is that, you know, it keeps falling off, so you need to put it like in your legs and try to hold it in place if you're doing this repair by yourself. Another thing, guys, I know my camera moves a lot and that might make you dizzy, but like I said, I got this camera on my forehead, and this is the only way that I can record this video to have basically all the footage. And as you can see, it wasn't going in the right way, so I had to take it apart again until I got it on the right position and redo everything again. So just keep in mind that you just need to be patient when you do this kind of repair, because if you're doing it in a rush or you don't have patience, you can damage the whole dishwasher by connecting something wrong or something like that. In this case, I try to do everything by the book, but they changed some things. Go ahead and plug in the dishwasher and turn it on, and this is where I find out that something was wrong. I start thinking that maybe it's a loose wire somewhere or a broken wire inside the cabinet. A lot of things went to my mind, but this is the problem. You saw it in the footage right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and address this to explain exactly what's going on. Over here, you're gonna see some footage where I start taking everything apart again, disconnect the appliance again, and this time I only took apart the top panel, but like I said, it was kind of difficult to put it back again. And this is where I noticed that the new board bring those terminals switch. You see the bottom board is the old one and the green one on the top is the new one, and you can see clearly over here in this footage they switched it, and this is the reason why it wasn't working. So what I did is just swap those terminals, and it actually says the color there, but like I said, I took a picture and went by the picture because I was like, I mean, if you took a picture, you don't go wrong. So I didn't even look that it was actually marked as the right color. You have to put the black on the black. And I believe even if I would have noticed, I would have said, well, the old one was connected this way. I'm just going to go of how the old one was connected. I would have taken a chance, but I didn't even notice. So I started thinking that maybe it was something else. This is the footage that I took, and I already show it to you guys. Here's again, because like I said, I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. And this is why I make this a video, to help you the most I can. You can see right there in the picture, they are different, but you just swap them out before you put the board back in place. Once I did that, I put everything back together again, and I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this footage because you guys already seen it, but I just want to address that situation where I had that inconvenience situation, and then I had to redo everything again. And as you see, the bottom panel is still on. I just removed the cover from the top, but the wires are kind of tight, and it was hard to put this panel back on the door switch right there, the handle. I had to, struggle a little bit. I mean, you can try, but again, like I said, if you don't want to remove the bottom panel, you can end up pulling wires from another area. You end up having another issue. But it would be easy if they would have made this situation where you can just remove the top panel and replace the board. So once you do that, just go ahead and install your T-Torque screws and go ahead and plug the dishwasher, and that should be it for this repair. At this point my camera was going low battery, but and it was all tilted because all the struggle that I went through. If this video helped you in any way, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the bell to receive notifications.